money, easy money, easy money. Let's go. Juice. Previously on Kimba TV. So we talked about it over the weekend, but this and this still leave open for this. And in my opinion, if it's getting rejected at these levels and we're making a lower low, of course I will take a swing fail. I think the probability of a swing is lower. You know, basically you lose this bitch, we're going to 90 what? We'll go to what? We're going where? If we lose this bitch, we're going where, chat? If we lose 98.5, we're going where? Happy Tuesday, y'all. Congressional testimony starts in about 30 minutes. U.S. markets just opened. How we doing, Lions? Who juicing? Nah, man, we juicing like a motherfucker, nah, man. Let's get it. Everybody caught up on the last night's highlights? Everybody good to go? Let's get it. Yeah, we'll see what did Wandu says, I got wrecked on my short. I gotta really stop going short when Kimba says long. That's okay. It's all about risk management, though. Even if you were wrong, you know, hopefully the losses were minimal. Yeah, and then like we talked about last night, we'll see if I doubt this zone is going to be with RTH now. So it's either here or here. Probably this one now. Token Tickler says, can you talk about the next two levels to the upside? Sure, 107 and 110, but really it would be all-time high. Unleashed says S&P all-time high this week. I don't know about this week, but it's coming. Yeah. I don't know if there is a testimony link. I was looking on YouTube, but I couldn't find it. Wandu says maybe settlement bullish retest. No. How about the single prints? No. You need to get caught up, Wandu. I just thought I read that you're gonna stop doing your own thing and you're gonna get caught up. Yeah, so rewind, and the first thing that I would ask you is, do you really know how to play gaps? So, yeah, like the value area highs. So settlement, value area high, value area low. How do you play this? Like after the gym? Yeah. But I do have all the levels in front, so just make sure you get caught up. Go to this. Because after I do like the official streams, I always come back for the night. Yeah, so listen to all of the nighttime stuff, okay? Really in nighttime. Kimba gang, let's go! But yeah, if you have any questions, let me know, Wandu. Yeah, so pay attention to what I said about the previous day EQ yesterday. What would prevent us from a full rotate? What would give us a full rotate? Yeah, basically, I mean, you know what a full rotate is, right? So we just breached the daily open. The level to be watching is the 103,360 because that's the value area high, right? So once you breach that, the game is on. And if you're bullish, you really can't lose like the 102 level. Oh, well, basically what I was saying was these are the levels. And so we're going to know if this is turned into support when it makes a higher high. This is resistance when it makes a lower low. Obviously, you guys saw that this is the value range like this. So it looks like a value area high bullish retest. Obviously, if it looks like this, that's not great. Obviously, you know that if it does this, then you've got a chance to go down here. I was just saying that you already swing failed this. So this is probably unlikely. You're probably going to have to look at volume. And so that brings in the 104 back into fruition again. And as long as you have enough time, which I don't think you will, you have 2 hours and 7 minutes left. You can always be thinking about like bullish retest, close the entire gap, get the bullish retest of settlement. As long as it's above Bugatti dealership, you guys know what that means, right? As long as it's above the Bugatti dealership, boy. Because we haven't been able to get above that for quite. Could this be it? Bugatti juice! And then Thursday is GDP. So I'm going to be early Thursday morning. Let's go. And then Friday is PCE. Those 2 days are going to heavily impact the probability of cuts, y'all. You guys excited or what? Dudes, wake the fuck up. Hero? How many of y'all are going to be here early with me on Thursday and Friday? You got to get that money. Get that money, chat. We got to get that shmoney. So it's almost like whatever trade you have by the end of market close today is what you're hoping you don't tomorrow, and maybe GDP and PCE works in your favor and you juice the fuck up. But if it doesn't, then you can just get stopped out and profit on Thursday. Quit playing with me. All right, you guys locked in though? Tactic 23 is asking, wait, 107K, 107.5 before short? Oh man, this guy's gonna be pissed. Yeah, you're gonna fucking hate me, dude, and you're gonna think it's testnet, bro, but I have pixel perfect top short. Yeah, would you believe me if I told you that I have a 106.290 short and that I have had a green level up there for quite some time? But also, did you know that I'm looking for a 102 long? Did you know that I've literally been narrating this 5-minute fucking structure so that there's no fucking way you could be lost? So we saw the bounce. Where did it go? It pierced the golden pocket, but structurally it held the golden pocket. We were anticipating a failed auction. Okay? I held everybody's hand through the failed auction as we saw the 886, 618. It made a lower low. What the fuck do you think it's doing right now? It's a bearish retest. Brother, you just have to rewind. This shit is like 3rd grade math, dude. My 5-year-old niece can play this. Dude, like, you don't even have to ask me. This is math that you can trust, my guy. Okay, so there were tons of people asking about where would I put my stop loss if I want to short this, Kimba. If you rewind and listen to look at the chat 30 minutes ago. Dude, brother, I'm fucking making 6 figures while I try to get 6 Grammys, playa. It's testnet. God damn! But isn't this literally a failed auction pixel for pixel? Like, I don't make this shit up, my guy. This is a 886 to 618. It made a lower low. It's doing a pixel perfect bearish retest. What we're waiting for right now is a lower low. Where do you think this is? I guarantee you this is a VWAP. You got to take advantage of easy shit like this, moments like this, and just juice the fuck up. If you really want the answers years ago, we would have been waiting for the bullish retest. So you've got VWAP, you've got a low probability swing fail, and you know you've got this, and you've got the coming down to these levels somewhat bullish as long as you can hold it. But there's so many scalp. There's people that took the short here. There's people that took the short here. There's people that took the short here. But these are all anticipatory, easy to see levels. Sounds good, brother? Just rewind and get caught up, man. I've been narrating this bitch while we're making a fucking hit song. I don't even really need to watch this, to be honest with you. I know what it's gonna do. I don't know. I mean, Bitcoin's pretty bullish. Like I'm still thinking I can get my 122, 120 Sol. I think AVAX I can still get 12.27. I still think I can get lower on ETH. Yeah. So I think since we've gotten left behind at the train station so many times, I think it's good that we're taking more longs than we normally would and chasing it aggressively because we're just putting our stop loss at, break even relatively quick. So yeah, if Bitcoin pulls back into like the 104s or 102s, then that's basically when I would look at some of these altcoins and see if I have an opportunity on a lower low. All right, Atmo. But yeah, for AVAX, I don't know. I still think I can get that $12 entry. Yeah. Hope there's weakness tomorrow. Yeah. But I mean, we got to be thinking about what are we going to do if we get left at the train station? So did you see how on AVAX I had my contingency plan? On the grand scheme of it all, does it really matter if I have a $12 entry, or a $20 entry? Because I'm looking at, $150 or $130 or at least $100, right? Like, I'm not gonna cry over a $13 entry, $15 entry, $18 entry, $20 entry. In my opinion, like the last place where I would allow myself to reasonably chase this is all the way up until $25. All right. So if I don't get that $12, then that's okay, but I would allow myself to I would have to start thinking about getting into longs once we get into the box and be in a position before we leave the box. That would, so I've got my plan A, but I also know what my plan B would be and how I would chase it responsibly. Tactic says, should we short until 102K SFP? Please don't. I think it's better tactic to think. So are you bearish? Because if you really were, then you would have already had the 106.3 line. I always kind of feel weird about people that are a little bit too late asking if they should still short, because you're like kind of in that prime zone of just getting wrecked. Yeah. Are you actually bearish tactic, or are you just looking for lower to get into longs? Because you can't perverse your idea and say, I'm bullish and I'm waiting for lower, therefore I'm going to short. That's not logical. So some people will do weird stuff like that, but that's basically just greed, isn't it? Like, there's no data that says you should short. The only reason why they're shorting is because they think it's going to go lower and they want it lower because they want to long from down there. That's not trading, right? Do you have scalp long ideas, Ismail? What do you mean good as me? You could be as quote unquote good as me right now. Do you have the point of control and value area low? Do you have fibs pulled? Do you have anchored VWAP? If I asked you what are the two levels of interest where you might think about scalp longing, would you be able to tell me? Or if you are bearish, what's the main level that you want lost to not hold for you to really feel like you could get 98 or lower? So you got to tell me which way you're biased first. Fibception says, I'm going to eat some dinner and enjoy some time with girl and the baby. Nice, Fibception. Have a great night, brother. Hope to catch the late night stream. Awesome. I'll probably be here for like an hour or two. Castillo says, is it still good time to short or too late? I think if you have to ask me, I think it's too late, Castillo, because that means that you're not really familiar with failed auction, right? Like, I need you to do something like this. And I did this earlier, by the way, but take it from here to here or something like that. That was the value area high. And now you're kind of losing point of control. So I don't know why you didn't want to short that, stop loss right there. Why you didn't want to short that, stop loss right there. Why you didn't want to short value area high, stop losses right there. 1, 2, 3, and you're still asking, is it too late? You're kind of getting there, bro. Like, as long as you can see that yourself, and it shouldn't be my opinion telling you it might be a little bit too late. You should be able to see, okay, I didn't take that one. I didn't take the golden pocket. I didn't take the bearish retest. So, because I don't care if you end up taking it right now or not. Maybe you're going to, market smash right now, stop loss right here. And at least ride it to like value area low. I don't know if that makes sense. And you do realize that in 45 minutes, it's going to be Macaulay Culkin time, Castillo. So I would always ask you things like, do you want to take a position after RTH is closed? Do you want to take a position, 45 minutes before Macaulay? Would you rather wait until CME ETH comes back? Maybe, maybe not. Can you at least understand that you missed and whiffed on basically the 3 ways that you could take a failed auction? You could take the 7.5 golden pocket, invalidation is high or high. You could take the golden pocket, getting turned into resistance, 886618 rotation, with the invalidation of the local structure high as your invalidation. You could have taken the bearish retest of the value area high. Invalidation is the 618 inside of the previous value. So it's 3 opportunities that you whiffed on, or you decided not to take, or you weren't aware of. But either way, yeah, it's probably because at this point, you've already made a lower low. I don't know if you can see it, but you've already made a lower low, and that was followed up with a higher high. So you no longer have like the narrative of the failed auction, like all this stuff kind of helping you. Now you're basically, the markets might change. It might shift structure, and you're caught on maybe the 4th short attempt that the market gave you. So do you see how like it starts to get a little bit riskier and riskier, Castillo? And like I said, regardless of what you end up doing, the only thing that matters is you have this kind of self-awareness in terms of what you're risking, like what kind of risky scenario you're stepping into. All I care is that you're aware of all the risk. OK6OG says, what happened with Song? Do you want to hear it again? Let's let us up and hear it again, and then I might be bowing out, and I'll come back in about 2-3 hours. Titono says, if I'm shorting and it pulls back, should I stop loss at break even? Always. Always. Because Titono, I don't know how long you've been watching me, Titono, but I've been saying this for almost like 9-10 months. In my opinion, on the higher time frame, the markets are bullish. Ever since really like summer of last year and really September, October of last year, I've been talking about, I think 2025 is bullish. And I'm looking for the end of 2025, or even possibly a beginning or end of Q1 next year. And I'm going to really get off risk. I'm going to, probably, if I can, like sell some property, liquidate a lot of like spot holdings that I have and stuff like that, and really try to get cash heavy. And I'm hoping that the market has a little bit of a downturn. And I want to be opportunistic, like 2027, 2028, 2029, 2030. That's when I think markets are going to start to bottom out again. And I want to be there to be the guy that puts in 400,000 for, 30% of an angel round for the next, $1 trillion AI robotics company that starts in the garage in San Francisco, Yeah, so what the fuck was I saying? Oh, yeah, so basically, I think the only reason to short would be to hedge your long. Because I'm so bullish that I don't want to shave any longs that I get into. But I've been round tripped on my longs so many times that the only way that I can responsibly take longs and scalp longs and let them turn into home runs if they don't get round tripped is if I'm hedge shorting. So wherever I feel like this is a responsible place to shave a little bit of the long, I'm going to just open a hedge short. And I'll never really care too much about juicing on shorts, because it gives me the ability to be aggressive when I'm trying to take longs. If I really want and try to chase this point of control 105 long or whatever, I could have done that because I have shorts from higher that will cover that I might incur. It's not that I'm going to take a loss if I get stopped out on a long attempt. I just don't juice point of entry on the short. I'm sacrificing the unrealized profits from the short. And if I do get stopped out on the short, I get paid a tiny bit of profit to basically market buy in the way that I want to go. So I think what you want to do to Tono is make sure that you have a higher time frame plan and a thesis and work your way down into the medium time frame and the day to day and the hour to hour and the 15 minute by 15 minute and do that. Because in my opinion, Totono, I've been talking about if it goes to 76, I'm not scared to long it. And we were looking for longs down there. When we said if it loses 100 and people start freaking out, I'm not scared to long 99, 98. And that's what we did. And you can see that every single day I come here and I'm thinking about what, I need to, because I'm bullish, so I need to figure out like what would fuck all of this up and lower the probabilities of us being able to go get all-time highs. I'm, drawing lines in the sand where it might be a good long, a really good long, or you lose that and it's going to start to look for bulls. So until it does some goofy shit, we've got a chance to go get that 108, the value area high. Once you breach value area high, it's going to be a quick short squeeze to all new all-time highs. I think you can all see the 4 hour, the 6 hour. If you do volume profile, you've got a little bit of a thang opportunity in the 104, 103 rate, right? 102.5, whatever the fuck it is. So, but as with every pump that we had from 50, with the pump that we have from 75 or 72, like when it gets going, it's going to leave your ass behind. That's why you need to be aware of, okay, I'm going to be okay with taking 98, 99. Be afraid of taking that. I understand that if it gets above 104, 105 and really 106, like probably, beyond 80%. So, yo, Gucci. Yeah, so Totono, just be careful if you're shorting. I think shorting makes sense if you're trying to, and again, like you don't have to necessarily have the same higher time frame outlook as me. But I've been talking about how 2025 looks bullish for a very long time. So like the way that I'm only looking at shorts is I'm going to short levels where I don't want to close my longs. That's it. Like there is no, I think it could pull back a little bit. I want to long from down there. So let me get into a short. That's basically you're bored. You want action and you're like reverse assuming that you're going to be able to get a long that you want, which is already goofy. I can't even begin to tell you like how goofy that is. And then you're taking a long because your goofy scenario you think is going to happen. Yeah, so that's the way that I'm looking at it, Totono. So just be careful, but you should have a higher time frame thesis and kind of work your way back. So my higher time frame thesis is 2025 is bullish, maybe all the way up until 2026 Q1, bullish, right? And now with, I thought we were going to get rate cuts in February or March. If it actually is July next month that we end up getting it, then, obviously it might even be Q2 where it starts to maybe top out a little bit. So yeah, we're just going to take it level by level, but you need to have like a higher time frame thesis basically. And I would be really careful trying to short. So yes, if you're taking a short, you should not lose money shorting Totono. All right? Do not lose money shorting, because in my opinion, it's only like great. It's a great hedge for longs. You know, if you try to, let's say that you have a short from like 108 or 109, right? And as it goes down to 98 or 99, right? If the 98.99 long doesn't work and you end up taking an L on that long attempt, it's not really coming out of your capital as long as that short is running. You just need to understand that you did not make any money from where your entry was until where your stop loss was. Basically, whatever you lost comes out of the unrealized profits of the short. So the short gives you the free roll opportunity to try and take longs, right? So a lot of things in crypto can seem counterintuitive, but you need to understand the way that like you're supposed to use the markets in your advantage, yeah? We're all lions. Give it up for Houston and Cage. Lock in, man. We got Thursday GDP, Friday PCE, and we have big time options expirations, right?